During the events of Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2, and Security Breach Ruin, one animatronic's absence is felt. And this animatronic, I'm sure you already know the name of it because you clicked on the video for this discussion, there's the thumbnail, everything, is obviously Bonnie. Bonnie was a character that actually existed at Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex, but something terrible happened to Glamrock Bonnie, and that's what we'll get into in today's video, the tragic and sad tale of Glamrock Bonnie. Whilst never actually appearing in the Mega Pizzaplex during the events of Security Breach, posters for Bonnie Bowl can be seen scattered throughout the location, in which Gregory and Freddy can actually view, which will advertise a cartoon version of Bonnie holding a bowling ball. He's spinning it around his finger like a basketball player would, and he just looks really cool. He looks like he's ready to have fun and go bowling. Later during the events of Security Breach, Freddy and Gregory can actually venture in to Bonnie Bowl. Now, Bonnie Bowl is not an active attraction, so there's nothing really of note in Bonnie Bowl except for the obvious bowling balls, posters of Bonnie. However, there is a really cool thing in Bonnie Bowl. On top of being a bowling alley, there's also, of course, arcades and even an ice cream stand. And the staff bots running the ice cream stand look like little circus babies, which I think is just a really cool design. Now, the saddest part about entering this defunct attraction is actually going to a show stage. And this little show stage is supposed to be where Glamrock Bonnie would perform for the kids at his bowling alley. Now, prior to what I'm about to tell you, Gregory actually talks about Vanny earlier in the game to Freddy, as Gregory sees Vanny skipping jovially around the Mega Pizzaplex just outside the Superstar Daycare. And Freddy says that he does not see Vanny, but he also informs Gregory that there is no rabbit at the Pizzaplex. At least, not anymore. So, it is very saddening when Gregory brings Freddy just outside of Glamrock Bonnie's show stage, and he has this to say about it.
I do not come up here anymore. I miss him.
Now, Security Breach is very vague on how it chooses to tell the story of what happened to Bonnie, but Gregory can actually find a few employee logs throughout the Mega Pizzaplex actually discussing what happened to Bonnie. Now, what actually happened to Bonnie is detailed in some of these logs that actually talk about how Bonnie actually left Rockstar Row and moved into Monty Golf. And this happened super early in the morning. So he goes into Monty Golf and presumably disappears. Nobody knows where he is. And when he shows up, he is super damaged beyond the point of repair. And this is where Fazbear Entertainment would do something really bizarre. And that is, instead of replacing the broken, smashed Bonnie animatronic with another identical animatronic, they decided to completely remove the Bonnie the Bunny character from the Mega Pizzaplex, and decided to remove the broken animatronic and anything related to it, despite leaving a bunch of posters and advertisements still featuring the character on them. And this is where kids at the bowling alley would begin to wonder when their favorite animatronic bunny was going to be coming back, and often asking employees and staff when this would happen. When is this animatronic going to come back? With the employees not really knowing what to say and not wanting to overstep their boundaries with an official answer to that question. And so unfortunately, it seems like Glamrock Bunny was left to be forgotten. Until the events of Security Breach Ruin, where we follow Cassie as she travels through the ruins of the Mega Pizzaplex in search of her friend Gregory. Spoiler alert, she does not find Gregory, but what she does find is a homicidal animatronic endoskeleton called the Mimic. In the ruins of Monty's Gator Gulf, Cassie can actually stumble across a dark ride. And upon entering this dark ride, Cassie will be thrust into a story detailing how Montgomery Gator came to be a member of the Fazbear Band. And this is crucial to understanding more of the Glamrock Bonnie story. So let's get into it. Now, obviously, if it wasn't apparent, the story of the Monty Dark Ride is actually the origins of Montgomery Gator, of how he came to be a member of the Fazbear Band and a famous rock star. But like all great stories, this one has small beginnings. And Monty starts off life in the swamps, just playing his guitar and jamming out. And eventually, Monty would think himself to be super good, and he would begin calling himself the one-man jug band. Now, that's got some sex joke material if I've ever seen it. Anyway, he starts playing his guitar with his one-man jug band, and he thinks himself to be really cool. And eventually, he became popular enough that he actually got the attention of the Fazbear Band, of the Glamrock animatronics. And specifically, he got the attention of Glamrock Bonnie, who saw much potential in the young Gator. And so the Glamrock animatronics offered him to come and join the Fazbear Band, which obviously Monty excitedly accepted. And so he became a great member of the Fazbear Band, and Bonnie was able to actually retire. And so he gave Monty his guitar and stepped down as the band's bassist so he could retire. And this gave Monty the opportunity to become a great rock star for the Mega Pizzaplex. I also would like to believe that the Montgomery Gator Origins Dark Ride was conceived after Bonnie was completely removed from the Mega Pizzaplex. And this would actually be the official answer as to what happened to Bonnie in universe. Bonnie retired and wanted Monty to take his place as the band's bassist. I should also mention that Glamrock Bonnie physically appears during the events of Security Breach Ruin. Let me explain. There is a secret room hidden within the ruins of Bonnie Bowl. It is locked, and the only way for Cassie to gain access to this hidden room is by deactivating all of those adorably cute Pat Pat wet floor bots. And once all of the Pat Pats are deactivated, Cassie will gain access to the secret room where she can crawl inside and actually view the body of Glamrock Bonnie. And this probably raises some questions. Okay, why is Bonnie here and not somewhere down in Monty Gulf where he originally disappeared? Well, the explanation for this is rather simple. Yes, he went missing in Monty Gulf. He was found to be incredibly damaged and broken, so he was probably brought back up into Bonnie Bowl, where they tried and failed to fix him. And they just kind of left him in this back room, planning to do something with him further down the line, but just forgot about him. And that's why he's stuck in this back room, hidden away, with his only company being the Pat Pats that surround him, locked in a tomb where he will never be found. And to make this scene even more heart-wrenching is the idea that Glamrock Bonnie might still be somewhat functional. Let me explain. Glamrock Bonnie's eyes are still lit up, which means he still has a functioning power source. On top of that, there appears to be some sort of music box inside of Bonnie, which is emitting this distorted music. So, with all those things in mind, it points to the fact that Bonnie might still be alive, but is just in such a heavy state of disrepair and decay that he can't move or do anything, which just makes it even more sad and heartbreaking. Now, because I don't want to end the video on such a somber note, I thought we would talk about the Glamrock Bonnie plush. This was a plush that was only available while Cassie was wearing the Vanny mask, and thus was only available to her and only unlockable while she was patched into the Vanny network. This plushie is just adorable. I also like the glitchy effects to it. It just makes the plushie look more badass, and just look at that face. Definitely one of the cuter plush designs. In fact, I think that Security Breach just has a cuter plush design compared to the rest of the FNAF franchise. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's video. What do you think about the story of Glamrock Bonnie, despite how sad it is? And with that, hope you guys enjoyed. Do take care, have a great night, and I'll see you in the next video.